Hey everybody, welcome to What is HallowCon? I'm Joe Dog, uh, director of the convention. With me, I've got my uh, security director, Skunk. How are you doing, Skunk?
I'm all right.
Okay, don't do me like that. I'm thinking, damn, am I muted? Uh,
I responded.
yeah. Well, you responded like, "Oh, he's brought me up. What's he saying? I can't hear him." Okay, that was the look. All right.
The
Uh,
look is my eye itches.
uh, uh,
You had that happen to you before, where your eye itches, right?
mm-hmm. Yeah, a few times, but we won't do that right now. Uh, but with us uh, is our one of our resident authors, T.D. Raufson. How are you doing, sir?
Hey Joe,
Hey,
it's Don. Good to see you guys. I'm doing great, thanks.
All right. Yeah, what this show is letting people know what Hallicon is, what we do, how we treat everybody, and as being a former guest, I'd like to have you in here to sort of let people know your opinion of Hallicon, how we do, and how the people are, and all that.
Sure, Joe. We do HallowCon every year, and HallowCon is on our calendar because it's something that we enjoy to do every year. We like to come because we get to meet new people and share our products and share our books. But we also like to come because everybody there treats us like family. We're part of the team. We're part of the gang. It's a fun weekend for us as well as a work weekend. So we get to work and have fun at the same time, and it's a great weekend for us.
All right, and also you have twin. It I think it was called Twin Cedar Productions at one time. Now it's Twin Cedars Publishing
Well, we have Twin Cedars Enterprises was the original business. We
Enterprises.
changed
Yeah.
that over to Twin Cedars Ranch this year when we went into an online retail model, and we still do our publishing under Twin Cedars. We publish for Twin Cedars Science Fiction and Twin Cedars Fantasy, so we have two um, publishing components for that business. But yeah, it's Twin Cedars Ranch. So if you're looking for us, you can find us online at twincedersranch.com, on Facebook at Twin Cedars Ranch Store, and Twin Cedars Ranch Store on Instagram. So if you're looking for us.
Oh, and I've got something here. I should have gone ahead and pulled it out, but it's just right here within reach. This is one of your projects.
Yes, it is. That's
If I can,
your square holster that we put together
yeah,
for you.
and even engrave the logo. Well, I've got the blur caption on, so it's not. Well, there it is.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, that's our laser engraved logo that we put on there for you. That's just one of the many products that we do, and we do custom work as well.
And this is a holder for these the square readers for if people know what square is. I color mine just to sort of make it different. That way, I can spot it in a crowd if it wanders off.
Right.
Uh, Not that people would do such a thing at a convention, but accidents happen. Uh, but we got some people in here. We got Donna Carly Carling saying hi to Rob Brown, who's dropped into the show. Rob has been an artist for Hallicon for several years. It's about time to bring Rob back.
And Rob's done the covers for both of my fantasy novels. So I worked with
hey,
Rob directly. So he's got both both the Legacy of Dragons, Emergence and Resurgence covers, and we'll be working with him on the final one for Alliance coming
Okay.
up soon. Good to see you,
Oh,
Rob.
but yeah. Oh. 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 The Waffle House is biting back tonight. Sorry, guys. Um. So, TD, what is Hallicon to you
Hmm.
besides moneymaker?
Um, we look at HallowCon as our last convention. So to me, HallowCon is kind of like the anchor on my year. We go through lots of conventions, but HallowCon is where we come home to kind of wrap things up and finish the year out. So to us, it's an anchor convention that we finish the year with.
Okay, cool. Oh, and I know they're a competing convention, but there was a convention that I saw you at here back in May.
Yep.
Did you see one of their guest announcements today?
I didn't. I haven't been online today.
Uh, let's just say that when he grew the beard, his show gained traction. Jonathan Frakes.
Okay. All right. Jonathan Frakes. That's a big announcement.
That's a big get.
Yeah, it is.
So yeah, I'll throw the plug out for that one because I'm going just to meet him.
I mean, you know, want to know how much of an impact that beard made? I went back. This was several years ago, and just decided, you know what? I'm gonna start with episode 1 of Next Generation and just go from there, right? And I got about, I would say, a third through the way of the very first episode, the first Q episode. I got about a third of the way through it. I went, wait a minute, that's Riker. That's been Riker this entire time. Where's his beard? It's freaking me out, man. To see Jonathan Frakes without a beard is just the weirdest thing.
But yeah, it changed the whole. That's when the show caught its ground. Was about halfway through the second season.
It needed help on the second season, so a beard had to draw it out. So because the second season was not its best, but the beard helped a lot. I'll admit, because his character changed completely just from the addition.
Yeah.
He was still acting the same way. He was still playing the same character. There was just something different about the delivery.
Yeah. But back to HallowCon, because we gave them their 3 minutes. That's enough. You can check out their shows on their Facebook pages. Oh, and by the way, TD, if you haven't noticed, I'm not broadcasting or advertising anything to Facebook right now.
No, I saw your post. Sounds like you're having a bit of a fight.
Yeah. But yeah, I'll tell you what that is after the show. Exactly what was said.
Okay.
And you'll get a kick out of it. But the HallowCon, what's your favorite part of HallowCon?
That's a tough question for me, Joe, because we the whole weekend rolls together for us. We start out on Friday, usually with the opening ceremonies, which is always entertaining and fun. It introduces us to the people who are coming, so that helps me get to know who's going to be there. We spend a lot of our time working with other authors, working on the other panels, making sure that we help people along during the convention. As authors that have been there for multiple years, we do that. So it's hard to say what my favorite component is because it runs through the whole weekend. The whole weekend of panels and interaction with the authors, interaction with the people who come and the people we know and the new people that you're bringing in. I guess if I were to boil it down and say the thing that I like the most about it is the interaction with the audience, with the people who come to HallowCon to have a good time, to be there, is always fun for me because they always bring the people we know. They always bring what they've always brought, right? They bring themselves, they bring their character, they bring their personalities and their attitudes and all of it. And it's all there as kind of like home. But then there's the new people who you got those people who it's their first time and they've got that shell-shocked look, what have I gotten myself into? They're fun too because you get to know about them. You get to learn about the people who are new and are just getting started in HallowCon. And it's a fun moment. I think the people in my mind would be the one thing that I boil it down to is what I love the most.
All right. And so it's not the food?
I like the food, but the people make the food good too. All right. It's food with friends. It's Um, you, I like to sit there and eat just like anybody else does. It's kind of obvious, but um, it, it's not the only thing. I really like it, but the rest comes with the people and the audience and the audit and the whole atmosphere.
Yeah. And one thing that we try to do at HallowCon for you authors is we don't pigeonhole y'all off into the corner to where, you know, when the dealer's room closes up, you're done for the night. We keep you busy.
Yep, yep. We're usually very close to the floor. We're near the food, um, and there's a continuous flow of people that are coming up to talk to us and the other authors, your guest authors, and your guest artists have a tendency to hang out with us. We actually draw people into that corner who like to hang around and have a chat. So
Yeah.
it's always an attraction to bring people up around the authors, and they always want to talk about the books. And then, of course, there's the times the authors are talking amongst ourselves. We do a lot of communicating right there together. So
It's a great little networking corner.
it is. We've met a lot of people. We've grown our sorry, the word just escaped me. Our newsletter. We have a newsletter that we put out monthly, and just from working with authors, we add authors and present authors every month. Next one's coming out on the 8th of August. But we've grown that through the interaction and the networking that's established at HallowCon as well as other conventions. But HallowCon's been a great place for us to pick up authors and contributors and artists who want to be part of and represented by our free networking that we provide.
And we've actually picked up a vendor this year that you help bring in, Jesse D'Angelo.
Oh, okay, Jesse's going to be there. Good.
Yeah, he'll be in the vendor's room. We may move him to the author's nook next year.
Okay.
But yeah, y'all are actually the first thing people see when they come into HallowCon.
We are.
And
Well, actually, that's not true. The first thing they see is security.
yeah,
No, that's not true. The
Okay.
first thing they see is registration.
There you go. That's right. Registration, then security.
and we've got a new director of first impressions this year, Susan Ray. If you know who Susan is, she's got the sort of yellow, lavish-looking dog.
I was gonna say
Yep,
Susan's
okay,
the one Susan's the one of the two people who always comes to HallowCon and always brings a dog that I like the dog. Because
Yeah.
the other one's Crystal, and that little
I
butthole
know.
bit me in the face.
And Rob, yes, to answer your question, I'm not going to bring that up on screen. But Carl says it was last year, and he enjoyed it very much. But
but no, like all seriousness aside, Susan she's a fantastic ray of sunshine anywhere that she goes.
yeah,
And I mean, she brought a lot of light she brings light to any event that she has any association with, but specifically she worked with Timegate, and
changed to Hulanta.
I was gonna say, yeah, because I remember they changed names at some point,
Yeah.
which is Hulanta. So if you know those conventions, that you know how brilliant and sweet of a person she is.
Yeah. So she's not just we're not just throwing her in. She's experienced convention. I mean she's run Atlanta conventions. Need I say more? So that's a step up for us. And then sadly, my wife will be wandering around keeping me in check.
That's not different.
Yeah, I was about to say, how is that different?
Not different.
Which means she can stay with me every step. Oh, which, by the way, usually when people see me at the conventions, it's "Hey Joe, shoot! Hey Joe, shoot! Hey Joe, shoot!"
You are a lot of places.
Uh, but I'm going to tell you right now, it can't happen without people like Skunk, Susan, Chris Walker,
Yep.
especially Chris Walker.
Yep.
And Chris also wanted me to remind everybody something. Let me go ahead and pull it up. I'm going to let this scroll across the bottom of the room. Need to start going ahead and getting your room reservations if you haven't already. Sadly, this year they had to go up on the room block because of everything else is going up.
Mm-hmm.
But it's $75 a night, and be sure to reserve your room. The number scrolling across the bottom there. It's the Dalton Nakano Lodge, 1507 Tibbs Road, 706-226 9579 on the days of October 28th through the 30th. And be sure to ask for the room block when you call and reserve your room. Got to do the housekeeping.
Have to do it.
And if people want to come to HallowCon, it is $35 on the website until October 1st. So get your badges ordered, your rooms reserved. Get back over here to the comments. Yeah, there's Rob still there. I'm looking forward to seeing Rob. I've only seen Rob just a smattering of times in the last 5 years, and that needs to change a little bit. Oh, I got to take a drink because mouth's getting dry. But yeah, your lovely wife, KT Hunter, comes with you.
She does. She's here. She's sitting back in the back, giving me stage direction. But she's listening in and being quiet. But she's always nearby.
Oh, okay.
So don't say anything bad about her.
I'm not, but I am going to say that KT's sitting there being quiet. Not going to comment.
She's trying. She's trying very hard. It is challenging, but she's trying really hard.
I heard her laugh just.
You did. I told her the mic was sensitive, so she'd show up. Up there's the giggle snort. So if you're looking for the.
And Donna, Carly, Carlene, they are long haulers down to the show. They're coming down from Illinois.
Oh, yep.
So they're coming Friday to Monday. They're going to show up on Friday and leave Monday morning because they heard about the dead dog and the wake for the dead dog, which is something that, only experienced con people know about the wake of the dead dog party. And we're probably going to have jambalaya again this year for the dead dog, which should be good.
It always is.
Oh, well, wait a minute. Rob, what? Oh, dang, dude. I did not know that.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
So I'm glad to hear you're getting
Recovering.
through PT, recovering. That's always a challenge.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear about that. Oh, but yeah, I look forward to seeing Rob. Rob's a character. Oh, and TD, just a reminder, this is our 20th anniversary.
20th anniversary. We've been doing this a long time. I've not been there the whole time, but it's been a long time.
I think y'all came the year after the most fun convention ever.
That does seem to be the case because I keep hearing the stories and I wasn't there to experience them. But we started apparently a year late.
The convention in the dark.
Yep. Let's not repeat that.
No. Hey, you, Rob, you just do what you got to do to make you better. That's the most important thing.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Uh, but I've enjoyed having you at the convention. Of course, I've already got it figured out. You're in the same spot, so you just when you show up, just
Go to the same spot we always go to.
yeah, go to the same spot.
Yep.
Okay. I would have been surprised if that wasn't the case, and pleasantly, because it wouldn't have mattered. We would work with you whatever you wanted us to do, because it's all about having a good weekend, and we can do that anywhere we are at HallowCon. So we look forward to coming and doing what we do. Now we have some things that are common that everybody likes. Everybody seems to really enjoy the Oracle at Delphi.
Oh yes.
I'm not going to take credit for that. I honestly don't. Someone else created it. Someone else. We saw it from another author who did it at another convention, and then we mercilessly stole it. So I continually tell people that it's not our creation. We just do. We just present it. But it is fun. That's usually, I don't know when you got it scheduled, but you usually put it on Friday night.
Yeah, Friday night. Usually about 9 p.m. on Friday night.
Yep.
To for the people that don't want to hang around for the entertainment, that gives them. That's one thing we do provide is choices of entertainment.
You do. And you've got a lot of different options because that's what the guests do. We bring the panels, and I will tell you one of the things that is refreshing and challenging at the same time is that you have us develop our own panels, and a lot of people are like, well, that'd be really easy. It's not as easy as you think. We've kind of gotten into a pattern with what we do. The Oracle has become very popular, so we repeat it. It's fun for us. It's a very entertaining opportunity. But then we also do other things. I do a reading. I don't do a reading, sorry. I do a storytelling just about every year now because I want to broaden people's introduction to my characters and introduce them to other things. So I'm starting to do storytellings every year. But other guests bring their own fingerprint. Whatever they bring to the table. Stephanie, is she coming back this year?
Yes, Stephanie will be back this year.
When Stephanie's at HallowCon, she brings some of the most interesting panels that people can go see. She brings science to HallowCon, which is always fun because she does it in such a way that it feels entertaining and not dull and boring. Stephanie has a way of making science feel good, and I like science. Stephanie just has a way of making it fun.
Well, if you make it fun, the kids will enjoy it. When the kids enjoy it, they'll think about, hey, I want to do that.
Yeah, and she does that when she does her presentations. She brings in things that people don't think about. Very few people think about the fault line on the western side of Tennessee, but she'll tell you a tale and tell you stories about it that you don't even realize are out there. So she brings a lot of science, fun stuff. But that's what you do. You open up the door so the guests can bring their own flavor to HallowCon, and they do it, and it's entertaining to the guests, to the people who come to HallowCon to enjoy it. And that's what we're here for. That's what KT and I do it for. Sure, okay, it's partly about getting our product out there and getting people to buy our books, but it's also about entertaining people. If we entertain people in the panels, if we entertain people at the convention, then they're going to come and talk to us about what we do, the books we write, and the other things that we do. So it's all part of networking and selling our brand, but we really enjoy working with the crowd, with the people that are there to be entertained and enjoy a convention. So we love it. I enjoy being a different kind of person because I'm not normally as outgoing as I am at HallowCon. Not that you can tell.
Yeah. I noticed you were working with Are you still using the product you picked up at that convention?
I am. I had to trim back the edges. I've got not that you can tell with any of the other hair that I have, my hair gets really curly. And on the ends, when it was curling up, it was actually starting to spiral. So I'm trying to train it out a little bit and get it to go a little bit straighter. So yeah, I'm still waxing. I don't wax as much during the day when I'm working in the shop, but I do when I'm out and about.
Okay. And your shops is actually on premises,
It
right?
is. It's right out in what used to be our garage. We spent the first quarter of this year moving everything up into the garage. We put a laser in, so we had to put everything um, in a place that we could get the laser into. It's actually a large piece of equipment. So when we did that, we moved everything up into the garage, and it is now just through the door to the left over there, where I can just step out and work anytime I want to.
And there's probably times that KT's probably come down at 3 o'clock in the morning going, go to bed.
Yeah, it happens. There are times when I'm working a lot longer than. Well, I mean, it's a house-based business. It's a home-based business. So when I wake up in the morning and just want to do something, sure, I can run out there and just work on things. Or if I've just been going for a long time, I forget what time it is. It happens. However, she does not come and tell me to go to bed. She leaves me alone and lets me do whatever I need to do. If I'm dead tired in the morning, she'll kick me out of bed, and she actually won't. She'll let me lay there until I sleep off whatever it was. She does tease me with coffee.
Yeah, I've sort of got, little stuff to do out in the yard, but, I'll go out to work on one thing, and like today, I went to wash uh, the HallowCon truck and ended up pressure washing the house. How I got over by the house, I don't know, but I pressure washed the backside of the house.
It's a continuation of motion. You were moving, so.
Oh, so do you ever run into that issue? Start on one project and end up on three more that you didn't even plan on?
It's been known to happen. Usually, when I'm doing something outside or doing something on the yard, I'll just move into something else. My work in the shop is pretty much planned. I know what I'm working on, and I try to stick to it. There's some variability, things that have to rest and have to wait. I leave sitting, and when that happens, I pick up another project. But usually, I know what I'm planning to work on.
Oh, okay. Oh, excuse me. Sorry about that. Like I said, the Waffle House is fighting back tonight. Uh, so, what got you into the leather crafting? I know you're the author, but the leather crafting has become a big part of what you do now.
It is. I do. I still write. I'm still writing on my third novel from the series, to my sixth novel in my total collection of books. But leather crafting started about 11 years ago. I can't remember the specific reason. It had something to do with costuming, I think. We went out to pick up some tools to do something. I wanted to make something out of leather, so we went up to find some tools. And KT bought me an entire set of leather crafting tools for Christmas that year. And from then, it's just been a hobby that I've done in the basement year over year. But with COVID, I was traveling. I was spending all of my time on the road, and they sent me home, and I started doing online training all the time. I was training people through video conferencing like this, and while that was going on, I had more time at home, so I spent the time playing around with some products, creating some things, and deciding that I could make a go of running a leather crafting business, selling leather, making things for people. And this year we've leaned into role-playing products, and cosplay's coming. We're starting to branch into some new areas. I've started doing some training around armor making. So I'm starting to produce some customized armor, and you'll see some of that start to show up either as things we're wearing are on the site. But it's fun for me. It's an enjoyable hobby, and it's something that I can actually turn into a business. So we decided to add that into what we were already doing, which was primary selling our books, and it's had a big impact. It's helped us continue to be able to focus on the things that we like to do.
Awesome. Oh, I'm trying to think of some of the things. Of course, you said just meeting the people. Do you ever watch some of the stuff go on HallowCon and just go,
Of course, but I can't talk about you when you're here. There's no matter the convention, Joe. There's always things that we see that are going to happen. They happen at every convention, but
yeah, some of the scheduled stuff at HallowCon?
okay, there's some of that too. But it's part of the character of the convention. It's part of what we have grown to expect. It wouldn't be HallowCon without some of those moments, and it's the character that you get from everyone you've ever known. Look at your family. We all have family. There are people in our family which we sometimes don't want to admit we know, but we still love them. We still have them around, and a lot of it is that characteristic that makes them who they are.
Yeah. And as you know, I always do something every year that is the big memory.
Yep. You never know when it's going to happen. It could be in the opening ceremonies, or it could be somewhere on Friday night or
Saturday
night, or never do anything on Sunday morning, but it might happen.
Carl just asked a good question. Is the schedule up on the website? Carl, not yet. Usually I don't start throwing schedule stuff until the 1st of October because things change so much. But pretty much anything that seemed regular at HallowCon will be the same this year. But yeah, this year's surprise will be very touching. I'll say that.
Okay. So are you Pumpkin Chunkin's back?
Oh, of course, Pumpkin Chunkin's back. That is, that's one of our staples.
Of course. I got to score last year, so it was the first time I actually got to be out there when it was going on. It was fun to watch, fun to be part of. If anybody wants a fun, entertaining event, Pumpkin Chunkin has got to be one of the most interesting games I've seen.
Yeah, we had our guest of honor on the last show, Ted Davies,
mm-hmm.
And we were explaining Pumpkin Chunkin to him. He's like, well, and Skunk described it perfectly. It's a kid's game that adults play and take very seriously.
Yes, but there's no doubt that they take it seriously.
It's, but it, and as I am usually the MC of that, and you never know what I'm going to say. Sometimes I don't even know what I'm going to say.
We never know what you're going to say, Joe. There is a pool, but it's a hard one to win.
Oh, well, actually, there is a game this year that will be in the program book.
Okay.
It's Where's Joe Dog?
Oh, no. Here we go again.
Are you going to wear red and white striped shirts?
No. It's
oh, that's a really good idea, though.
Are you going to wear a fedora?
No.
Okay. Then I don't know how you're gonna manage this one.
Okay, this one it'll be right in the center of the program book. So you know, I can't find it. Did you open the program book? It's right in the middle. Find the staples.
You finally got to be a centerfold.
Yeah. But it'll be like a bingo. And you got to catch me doing certain things.
Okay.
Like one of them, me mispronouncing a word at a function.
Okay.
That's a given.
Yeah. Yeah. So okay. Just when
Uh,
it happens, we mark it off, and then we get.
well,
Right.
actually, you got to bring it to me, and I've got to mark it off.
Oh, okay. Okay. So that last
Yeah,
part's
because
pretty hard.
I was going to point out that the whole entire thing is that you basically have to catch him doing it, and he's going to be conscious of these things.
Yeah.
So the schemers out there, and you know who you are, that come to the convention, Joe, you know that they're going to be trying to get you to screw up. They're going to try to get you to do the things to knock off the bingo.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, it's also in the rules. If you set it up, it doesn't count.
Oh, you know how crafty they are, though. You know how crafty they are.
Which makes
it was a total accident. I totally didn't mean to. But could you sign this? Or they'll have somebody else do it.
This is going to be the Mission Impossible HallowCon. You're going to have people doing secret missions behind your back, setting up all sorts of traps. You're in trouble.
Yeah, one of the things is catching me coming out of the bathroom.
I'm gonna see right there. TD, I just thought of one. Thought of one right there.
Yep.
You know what he's gonna try to do?
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna try to make sure to always use the bathroom in his hotel room.
Yep. You can't catch him there unless you're in the room.
So you know that somebody, Joe's gonna be all like, he's gonna say it out loud at some point. He's just gonna be like, he's gonna go to Donna. It's gonna be like, I need to use the bathroom. Let me see your key. And that's gonna be the cue. Like 4 or 5 people are gonna be like, Donna, we got the other key. Let's go. Bust into his hotel room while he's in there. Wait for him to come out.
Yeah, but do you really want to wait for me to come out?
Hey, some people in this world, Joe Dog, some people in this world are willing to do anything to be a winner.
Yeah, it's that competitive streak, right? They'll do anything to win.
It's the CEO mindset.
I would never pretend to be that way.
Well, I am looking for it right now. Hold on a minute.
Oh, great.
I actually have the
prototype.
Yeah.
You really should give that to me or Chris or somebody else to make modifications so that it's fair. We know you.
Well, that's
because you just know that one of the things on there is going to be an impossible task. It's going to be things like Joe Dog comes out of the bathroom. Joe Dog gets yelled at by Donna. Joe Dog brings capitalism to Cuba.
Hey, that third one could happen.
The Joe Dog's not going to do it.
You never know. It's more likely than the first two.
Oh, okay. Here it is.
Yeah, right.
All right.
How many years have you known Joe?
Now here's the thing. Here's the thing of the bingo. The center is a free space. So you're already given one.
Yeah, isn't it you getting yelled at by Donna?
No, it's just free space. Here they are. Searching for Kane.
Yep, that happens every year.
Yep.
Coming out of the bathroom. Hiding from the staff.
See, right there. That one that's open to interpretation. If somebody finds you off in the corner, so you're hiding from staff. No, I'm not. I'm checking the expiration date on these beans. Open to anything that's open to interpretation.
All right. Now, taking registration payment in an odd location.
Define odd.
Laying in the floor.
That one you do every year, yeah.
Is that intentional or unintentional laying in the floor?
Unintentional.
Okay.
Unintentional laying in the floor. So So what you're saying, Joe, is that you're inviting literally everyone at the
Trip me.
convention to
Trip.
trip you.
But I got to be taking a registration payment
What, while laying in the floor?
while laying in the floor.
No. When are you going to do that?
TD has seen it done.
Well, what I thought you were
Take
saying
payments
was
in a lot of places.
Yeah.
All right.
Like,
Now here it is, trying to pronounce something and can't.
trying to pronounce something in can't. There you go. There's a mispronouncing right there. Can't.
Asleep in the function space.
Okay, that one right there. I call BS on because you've never done that.
Yes, I have.
I've never seen it. I've never seen it. Maybe back when this convention was run by somebody else.
No, ask Ruth.
That's since you've been the director.
Ask Ruth. She's had to wake me up. I was snoring too loud.
I don't believe that one for a second. I think that one's a scam.
No, and then
I think you got Ruth in on it.
Then and also saying, "Hey, let's step over here a few feet to talk," because you know what I've done.
That one.
Yeah.
Ooh, that would though. I mean, you got to be really specific about that. You got to add the little disclaimer on the end of that one because you've said that before, and not for that reason.
Yeah. But here's the best one: trying to remember what he was doing.
Again, open to interpretation. You never know what you're doing, man.
That was pretty broad.
When it's 3 p.m. on Thursday. 3 p.m. on Thursday of the convention, and Joe Dog goes into autopilot, and it doesn't turn off until Sunday night. and when it does turn off, the first things out of his mouth used to be, it's not anymore, but it used to be, well, I'm going to go watch Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Well, that's going to introduce some fun, I'm sure, to an already fun time.
Sure, what that's gonna introduce is chaos.
I was trying
he just needs he needs the white. Joe needs the white face paint, the red lipstick, and the green hair at this point.
Yeah. A little bit of chaos won't hurt though. It'll be entertaining. It'll be fun to watch. I will certainly enjoy it from my observational position.
And that's one thing about the authors. Y'all do have probably one of the best seats in the house.
We get to see a lot. That is for sure. We get to see the interaction around the bar, which is always fun. We can see the stage. It's way off, but we can see it. But yeah, we do have a pretty good spot to see things that are going on. We can see the things that are happening near the event space as well, because we have access to the kitchen area or that breakfast area, which is where the panels are, which is some stuff happens there too. I mean, there's a lot of gaming that happens there, that happens ad hoc gaming. I can tell you the number of times I walked back there and just seen any number of ad hoc games pop up from several of the people who attend, and other things. So
we're bringing back the movie room again.
Okay.
You know, those horrible B-rated movies.
Yep.
Let me rephrase that. Public domain B-rated movies.
Yes.
And Saturday morning, you're going to have to get up early and show up in the breakfast room between 7 and 9 because we'll have cartoons. Saturday morning cartoons.
Saturday morning cartoons. It's been a long time since I got up at 6 to watch Saturday morning cartoons.
Well, I'm just sitting here thinking about it's like when you guys. This is one of the few times I'm going to bring up the fact that I'm younger than y'all. So when you guys think of Saturday morning cartoons and what I think of when I think of Saturday morning cartoons are two different things.
They are. There's no
You
doubt.
know? And I think the one that we're gonna have in common is Looney Tunes.
Of course.
Because they ran those Saturday morning cartoons. They ran those all the time. We used to get up every morning. It'd be in the whole entire family, and we'd sit there. We'd watch Looney Tunes because that was one of the things that came on. But I know you guys had like, what was it? You guys had like Dudley Do Right, Hong Kong Phooey, stuff my dad grew up with. My dad really liked, Whereas me, I had Reboot and Sonic the Hedgehog and stuff like that. That was my Saturday morning cartoons childhood. Which, God, that's why I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it, guys. These kids today don't know. They don't know.
Don't understand.
They will never understand that you would wake up. You'd wake up at 7 a.m. to go to school every single day. It'd be absolutely miserable. You didn't want to get out of bed. You would wake up and you'd just be like, oh my God, I don't want to get up. I don't want to go to school today. I hate my school. I hate the people who go to my school. I hate everything about this. I hate getting up, before the crack of dawn. I hate standing out here in the freezing cold waiting for a bus that I have to ride for an hour. It smells like butt, and also you have to go to the school and then you have to be there for hours on end and to go home. And when Saturday rolled around, you were up at 5. Yep. You were up at 5 because you had to get your breakfast ready and you had to get the TV at the right volume so you didn't wake up mom. And you had to, and of course, if the cartoons weren't on yet, it was like, oh, well, play some Super Mario while I got a second, and then boom, it would happen. It would come on and you would be there for hours. And that was Saturday morning.
With your bowl of cereal.
Yeah.
Yep. And then, of course, Sunday morning belonged to Dad because that's when Power Block came on.
Now, Skunk, be interesting. The only thing that's really different in our time than what you were talking about was that the TV didn't actually come on.
All you got was...
The TV didn't come on, and I don't mean the power. I mean the broadcast.
You had to wait for
And you're right. We were up at 5 because at 6 a.m. the TV came on, and the watching started.
Yeah, and that was the thing about it though, is when I was real little, because I'm right there at the I'm right there at the very beginning of millennial, right before Gen X, right? So I remember when TV signing off. Yep. I remember sign offs and sign ons. But it wasn't that much longer once we moved to Georgia. When we moved to Ringgold, it wasn't that much longer after that when I was a kid that suddenly they were like, oh, now we have paid advertisements that play from here to here. Yeah. It was the beginning of well, not the beginning of infomercials. They already existed, but this was the beginning of infomercials on public television.
Right.
All night long.
Yep. All night long until the next morning. And then that's when we started then they started showing reruns and stuff like that. And by the time I got to high school, it was like, you could just leave the TV on. There was always something on. It was great. It would be like, I remember, coming downstairs, or not coming downstairs, heading to the other room, put TV on. It'd be like 4 o'clock in the morning. I didn't feel good. I was like, I'm going to throw the TV on, see what's on, put it on and throw out. Usually I'd switch it over to PBS because they showed weird stuff. That's what I wanted to see, 4 o'clock in the morning, you'd be seeing like they showed the original Dragon Ball. They would show Doctor Who. Dark Shadows, I mean, this is because they had the access to the library, and if like nobody's watching PBS at 4 o'clock in the morning, we're going to show whatever we want. It was great.
And that's something kids today will never understand. Let me get over here. One channel at a time.
Let's see.
Oh, Daddy,
move that rabbit ear just right. Move that rabbit ear just right. It's like
okay.
Back away. We've got 61. We've got Fox. We got somebody moved, man. Which we didn't have a problem. We didn't have a problem with because we had the antenna on the roof, but I'm talking about in my bedroom. You know, in my bedroom, I had my own. You know, I had the rabbit ears. So, you know, and yeah, of course, yeah, a lot of people are going to be freaked. A lot of the kids today would be freaked out by this too, right? You had two dials on the television for channels,
and you only had
one of them you had to switch over to. It was labeled UHF in order to get the rest of the channel.
And there were only 5 of them.
Well,
Three
only
primary, 2
five in your area.
Yeah,
There's only 5 in your area. You know, you would get your usual, you know, your 5 or ABC, CBS, NBC, and then if you had a Fox affiliate somewhere in your area, you could get Fox and then PBS. And then that was the thing, you know, you click over, and as you're going through the channels, you'd start to pick up, especially like I said, if you had the old school rabbit ears, right? And they were directional, you know, you could move them around. You'd be clicking through there. It'd be all like, you know, I was through. There was a channel. We only got 3, 9, and 12 were the major stations in our local area. There was nothing on 4 unless you pointed the rabbit ears just the right way from where I lived in Georgia, and we barely got channel 4 in Atlanta.
Yep.
Which I don't even remember what that was. I think channel 4 in Atlanta was 4 or 5. I want to say it was an NBC, but I can't remember. It was an NBC or an ABC, I think.
Yep.
And then of course we had like, you know, PBS and stuff like that. You would be switching around, and then especially with like the different areas where, you know, sometimes you'd go through and you'd get a public access station that's just broadcasted that, you know, that isn't affiliated with anybody.
Independent TV stations.
Yep.
I remember the first time I saw one of those. It was a weird station. It was low. It was low broadcast. Like it was low power, low wattage broadcast.
Yep.
But I could sometimes pick it up with the rabbit ears of just some like Christian network in like Cohutta or something.
Yeah.
And it was literally just like in that one little town. They weren't expecting anybody to pick them up outside of that, you know.
Channel
and every once in a while,
Channel 53.
well, 50.
That was UPN, wasn't
it?
It turned
53.
Into that,
53 here was PBS.
Yep.
No, 45 was.
Well, in
Had
Germany,
news.
it was 45. And
45 is PBS. Oh, yeah, that's right. 53 is WFLI.
Yeah.
WFLI TV 53. And yeah, it became UPN. What was it before UPN? And then it became.
It was independent.
It became something else after that too. After UPN, it became what, the CW?
CW, yeah.
Yeah, that was the progression. UPN became CW.
CW,
Yeah.
and then oh my God, y'all make me feel old.
But the thing that
I make y'all feel old.
another thing that kids don't understand now, when the TV went off, you just didn't get a blank or a blue screen. You got static.
Yep.
That white noise static. And that's why people can't sleep anymore, because they fell asleep with the TV on and grew up listening to that static.
It wasn't like when I was living up in the Chicagoland area, when I lived in Des Plaines, right? It wasn't static. It was a test pattern.
Yeah, they gave you a test pattern. Yeah.
Yeah. And it would depended on what channel you were on, depending on what test pattern you got.
Was it test pattern with a tone or just test pattern?
It was always test pattern with a tone, right? But one of them would be, you know, they'd show the old Indian head, you know, that one. One of them would show like the color bars, right? And there was another one. It didn't actually have a test pattern, but it was just a, you know, station off air, like generic, like digital text up on the screen. And I remember that from when I was like 3 or 4. You know, because I'm in the middle of the night. I'm going downstairs to go turn the TV on, play my Nintendo. You know, and then get in trouble when my parents realize that I'm up at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. Oh, well, we are 5 minutes to wrapping the show up. TD, go ahead, sprout out some websites, some books, where they can buy your books, what kind of books you've got, and
Okay.
uh, and just for the fun of it, go ahead and throw some of KT stuffs in there too.
All right. So we have a website of our own, which is twincitersranch.com. You can get all of our books on twincitersranch.com. If you order them from that site, they will come autographed because we will specifically autograph the books before we ship them to you because they are physically here. If you want to order them from any of the primary ordering sites, you can get them from Amazon. You can get them on Smashwords. If you want ebooks or physical books, you can get them on Amazon both ways. You can also get them on Apple and several other Kobo Reader. You can get them on any of the prominent readers through our Smashwords affiliates. What are the books? So we have two different types of books. KT does science fiction, primarily steampunk science fiction. She has two books that are part of her series, which is the Nemo Paradox. The first book is 20 Million Leagues Over the Sea, which is a sequel to War of the Worlds. It includes lots of references to Verne and H.G. Wells, and it's set in that turn of the century time period. And when I say turn of the century, in that instance, I'm talking about 1800s to 1900s turn of the century. And both of her books are set there. The second book is The Mysterious Planet of Captain Moreau. She's currently working on the third book in that series, which will be The Invisible Woman. And that's the series that she's working on called the Nemo Paradox. Great steampunk if you're looking for an interesting story about what happens after the alien invasion in War of the Worlds and what humans do with all of that technology laying around. It's a great read. I have three series that I'm working on. They're all fantasy. I can't write science fiction. That's not really the truth. I could write science fiction if I tried really hard, but every time I try to write science fiction, magic seeps in. So I wind up writing fantasy, and that's just the way I stick with it. My first series is a Legacy of Dragons series. It's a 3-book series. 2 books are available. Emergence and Resurgence. It's a contemporary fantasy about what happens when dragons return to our current world, why they have been gone for as long as they have been, and the secrets surrounding their disappearance. I used to refer to it as urban fantasy. Urban fantasy has some baggage associated with it now, with people expecting it to have vampires and werewolves. My urban fantasy doesn't have vampires and werewolves, but I've gone to calling it contemporary fantasy because it is fantasy set in a contemporary time period in an urban environment. So that's those 3 books. The third book that's going to be released soon is Alliance, and that will complete the first trilogy, which is a part of a larger series. I've also written a mid-grade novel called The Queen Yeoman. Fun, enjoyable adventure around imagination and what happens when that imagination starts to magically occur in her real life. So that's the story around The Queen Yeoman. And I have a fantasy action adventure. And I use the term action adventure so that people will understand what it is. It is adult. It is going to contain all of the things that are part of an action adventure novel. And it is an adventure in a new fantasy realm that I created. It is called The Guardian Unmasked, and it is the first book in a series of action adventure books around Guardian Unmasked, or around the guardians of the Dragon's Spine. So all of those are available on our website. Also out there on that same website are all of our leather and chainmail products that we're making currently. Again, if you want to find us there, it's twincitersranch.com. You can find us on Facebook at Twin Cedars Ranch Store, and that's the same way you'll find us on Instagram, Twin Cedars Ranch Store. And we will be out there to interact with you or to provide some video entertainment on both of those medium.
Okay. Thank you so much for dropping in, TD. I know it was sort of short notice. Our guest, a little conflict and miscommunication with the guest, but next week this is going to become a weekly series now. Next week, our guest is Brian K. Morris.
And everybody should stop back in to see Brian. Brian is a hoot. If you haven't gotten to see him, you need to see him. You should come to
Brian
HallowCon
is fantastic.
just for Brian. You should come to HallowCon just for Brian. and then you'll of course enjoy everything else. But Brian should get you there
Yeah.
if nothing else does.
With that, thank you, Skunk. Guys, hang around for a minute till after the show because talk to you after we shut down. But thanks everybody. Y'all have a good night. Gonna drop everybody down here, and I'm Joe Dog. Be sure to get your rooms. Also, go to our website, www.hallowcon.com, and get your badges for this year's show. They're just $35 for the whole weekend. Plus, we provide your meals and drinks all weekend. So, with that, we're going to say good night, everybody.